All right, and welcome back to another episode of our podcast. My name is David Levine, founder and CEO of Res Tech Solutions. Today's topic, we are going to be talking about the hidden costs of manual processes in law practice. And I'd like to welcome our two guests today. We have both Andrea and Christine. So thank y'all for joining, and I will turn the floor over to y'all to introduce yourselves real quick.
All right, I'll start. Hi, my name is Andrea. I'm the CEO of Coverity.io, and we're here today to tell you more about the platform and how it helps with inefficiencies within the legal realm.
I'm Christine Alifrangis. I have a 25-year career in IT solutions and the large projects, data centers, and similar things. I am a notary, and I built this platform for notaries and for businesses.
All right, great. Well, glad you're both here. So let's just jump right into our initial question today. So, from your perspective, what are the biggest hidden costs law firms don't realize they have, or sorry, they're paying when they rely too heavily on manual processes? And again, this could also extend to the notaries because I know what y'all do is really helping to tie notaries and law practices together. But very interested kind of on your perspective here.
Manual processes kill productivity always. Where you can automate or where you can bring in integration is key to a business. So in any sense, where it comes from shipping labels from an Amazon store or from doing discovery and having to, attach documents to any particular job, that is, these processes are very fragmented in the legal services industries. And, my experience with law firms extends to family and personal injury law. So where we're best positioned is to provide a way and provide an area where we can link and reduce the manual labor of having to find a notary, get the documents to them, it, it, get a lot of the day-to-day sort of BS down to a very small amount. So with our platform, it's click and done. You tell us where you want a notary, and you put it in the system, and a notary will show up like magic.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, the tagline I suppose we inadvertently use all the time is we're the Uber of notaries. So I suppose, and this is me not being a lawyer, but in the legal space, I imagine you have a lot of wasted time and coordination using non-billable hours with highly paid staff, trying to find and coordinate with a notary back and forth, right? And then within that, there's security risks. I know I'm noting a lot of things that Christine just had, but if you were to stumble upon said security risk and actually get hacked while passing important documents with very important, pertinent information, personal information in via email, which is really bad, right? Think about that. How many times are we passing different documents, especially in the real estate transaction, right? To Adobe, and then outside of Adobe and export, and then pass the email here. And then we've got all these other mold documentations. I'm speaking from someone in Ohio who's purchased homes. This varies across state to state. So if you do get hacked, oh my gosh, now a lot of time and inefficiency and costs have stumbled upon you. And then beyond that, we're losing sight of, where this is all happening, right? So in Coverity, you jump in, you go, I need a notary for this type of documentation on Wednesday at this Starbucks. Who's available? And within that, you're visibly seeing the acceptance, the confirmation, and en route, right? So you're in control all the time while you're maintaining the rest of your day. And so there's no questions here. Obviously things are going to come up with certain notaries, but they can, if needed, probably pass and drop or reschedule should an emergency happen. But within the platform, there's a standard of excellence and a rating system to ensure notaries are always on time. Obviously, again, emergencies happen. We'll tackle those as they come. We'll verify those as they come, right? It's like taking the sick doctor note to your teacher. I forgot my homework, right? But we want to make sure that this is as smooth as possible and alleviating inefficiencies, which of course saves money. So that's what we want to do.
No, that's perfect because I think it fits in, I think, with what a lot of law firms are currently doing or looking to do. Because from all the conversations, we've had over the last, couple of weeks with various firms, a common theme I'm starting to see is many are starting to realize, okay, we've got to streamline, we've got to automate, we've got to adopt AI in some capacity. And I think what you do is going to fit right in because right now firms are looking for things to help optimize where they can. And again, if this can take another piece off their plate of manual work of, okay, hey, we need a notary or our client needs a notary, helping to coordinate. You got a platform that's already got all that built out for them. And then it sounds like as we get into it here in a bit, even more coming down the pipeline.
Yeah. And you just noted on client experience, right? So you're minimizing friction there. The law firm's controlling the process. They're clearing, scheduling, and instructions, and then there's faster turnaround. And then we're hopefully minimizing any end blockers that could potentially pause, halt, or fail in some sort of negotiation, right? So with manual error, we hope to eliminate with technology. So yes.
So one of the advantages that our platform offers, and this is key and this is unique in the notary industry, is being able to identify and use AI to verify not only the person that's a notarization target. I know that sounds weird, but I don't have any better phrasing for it. And connect them with their IDs so we can read their ID. We can verify them against a live scan of their face during notarization. We compare that against documents if the documents are provided to us. We can also look at documents and occasionally like pull out any sort of discrepancies in the documents or spelling errors because we'll have their IDs in the system. So the real benefit here is securing the data and securing the workflow from end to end. So documents don't get emailed around in our system. They get passed around in the system itself, and only authorized users are able to get to them. And that's something that's unique in the notary industry. A lot of notary and title interactions, so like title shops, will still email documents to notaries, which may or may not have financials in it. And we want to avoid emails containing financial information.
And Christine, you have the technical aspect within the blockchain, but because we are creating this one secure workflow, there's this clear chain of custody, centralization of documents, right? Records. And that creates a clear auditing trail. Am I explaining
Yeah.
the technical right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, you're explaining this. Every action inside the system is documented. Whoever looks at the document, once a document is taken by a notary or a project is taken by a notary, they're the only ones who can see it. Them and the person submitting it. There's no question of like, oh, this person had visibility into a document with financials that won't happen in our system.
Mhm. And then, not to take it away from the lawyers, but the notaries are just important, right? So, just as we take on business users in tandem, we're, trying to get notaries on as well. So, the notary aspect is the technology that supports them to scale, be secure, right? Market themselves without having to put that all on their shoulders as a solopreneur. And then the digital journal's pretty awesome. So we've been really working on that. We have some notary friends. Christine's actually a notary. So she has that background and insight as she's coding and building this. And well, it's built, but as she's evolving it even more. So yeah, it's really the twofold for both users to be enhanced in this new evolution of this particular technology that is vertically integrating the industry for the first time. So sure, we're just talking about dispatch and wet signature, right? Signature. But beyond that, the capabilities will be RON, which is remote online notarization. It'll be IPEN. It will be document management and things like that. So yeah, e-signing coming soon, all these great things just to keep that efficiency moving forward to be the best.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to actually ask about that as my next thing because I've known someone in a networking group I used to be in who was a notary and then went to the online. So I was going to kind of ask is where that sits within your platform. Do you have plans to just do things like that? Because I know sometimes it isn't always easy for people to physically get together.
Christine?
Yeah, so remote online notarization and IPEN are targets. We're working towards those. The platform fundamentals are there. It's a matter right now of the scale. Remote online notarization, it seems easy from a customer's point of view because the engineers for competitors have been very good about hiding the complexities of the system. It's an incredibly complex system to actually build. So we, as a as a very small company, are working towards that. E-signing also on the platform. This is the one that is coming first. So being able to just upload a document the same way you do with DocuSign or anything else, and just having the choice of what do you want to do with it. So do you want to e-sign it? Do you want to send it out for notary? Do you want to do iPen? Do you want to do Ron eventually? These will just be choices when you click on the document that you've uploaded. There's a lot of different paths and a lot of different ways that um, that we can save a lot of time because it's a single point software. So you can upload anything. It's from markdown files to Word documents to Google Docs and anything that you just have a physical file of. We can render into the correct formats for any of those targets.
Well, perfect. I mean, is there anything else at this point you'd like to share about the business or your platform, maybe that we haven't already covered?
Well, I would say the platform has recently launched and we're accepting our first 100 notaries, specifically within California. And then we're expanding to Georgia and South Carolina next. On the other side of it, our B2B side, law firms where this might fit, where you don't have notaries built in house, escrow and title, and real estate. So, three verticals there that fit quite perfectly. And everything's free because we're at MVP and beta. So you get to play, you get to be a part of this unfolding, and you get to put in feature requests. And those feature requests come to us, which is a very cool place to be in a chapter of technology where we know it's not if and when. So this is the time to kind of get on because your feedback can actually move the needle. And we want that feedback. So
I will make one little asterisk there is that notary work obviously is that when you send a document out for notarization, that will have a cost incurred with it. But there's no monthly fee.
yes. Apologies, everyone. Yes, there are transactional fees. Thank you, Christy. Subscription is free right now. So that's a good place to be. But yeah, I think what Coverity does for this particular conversation when we're talking to law firms is you're spending less time coordinating notarization and more time practicing legal, right? So we're helping to not eliminate, but alleviate risk and friction and time waste. And we want, that excellence. We want your clients to be happy and you to be happy and everything to just come together at the end. No scrambling, just smooth and easy.
Well, perfect. So, kind of changing gears a little bit, and this question will be for both of you, but what do you personally enjoy most about your role today? Especially when it comes to not just maybe helping law firms modernize how they work, but even how notaries work and even modernize, their operations in terms of, providing their services.
So just how we're modernizing both sides of it.
Well, yeah. So basically, it's what do you personally enjoy most about your role? Considering that you're what you're doing to help both law firms and notaries right now.
Well, in my role, I'm not as technically sound as Christine. I come with my marketing degree. So even in the beginning, I already failed your first question, right? You asked for where we came from. I own a digital marketing agency. My specialization is in SEO and go-to-market strategy. So when it comes to this realm of software, to be at the precipice and building of something is exciting and new. I've marketed many types of SaaS platforms. I've been supporting in that way. Now I'm with this brilliant coder, Christine, who is the visionary, who was great to bring me onto this project. So that is exciting. And then I'll just kind of tap her in for the bigger mission that excites me, which is the career path of a notary is one where a lot of folks can change their lifestyle with, right? It's got flexibility, it's got good pay. So you can really kind of change your course of action if you're, maybe you were a stay at home mom for a while and you just want to recharge that career path. A notary could be a great way, and you're making your own hours on Coverity. So, bigger picture, a longer term goal is this educational platforms, easier way to become a notary and bringing more folks into this space. So, yeah, that's my answer.
I think for me, being able to see the results of a change in an industry that desperately needs it. I think I've shared this before, which is that my mission is to make things easy for people, right? So it's easy to find a notary. It's easy to get connected with the right resources for the right purpose. I'm a very technical person. I have a very long technical background of building very complex systems. And this system has been a challenge. I mean, it's being able to build something that is secure, that is eminently useful. These are all, you know, great. They just solving the ability of finding resources to get a job done is absolutely rewarding for me. I'm best in I'm the happiest I am when I can innovate and when I can design systems and platforms that make a difference and that do stuff. In my career, I've done quite a few very useful tools, and this is by far the most exciting one because it has the ability to help so many people.
All right. Well, appreciate that insight from both of you. Kind of personally for me, this is almost like one of my favorite things to ask. And I know we've touched on some of this, but what are your some upcoming initiatives or trends you might be focused on right now? I mean, it could be anything within the business, automation, operational maturity, data management, but what's kind of your upcoming initiative that maybe you'd like to share you're most excited about that you're currently addressing?
Christine, I'll let you start.
So our top three most exciting technological initiatives are the integrated e-signing. So being able to just during a real estate transaction, for instance, you've got like 100 forms that you need to fill out. Wouldn't it be great if you could, as a transaction coordinator or a real estate agent, just drag and drop the person that needs to fill those forms out and have those all sent for e-signing in one day, in minutes? And so in California, we have these like Prop 65 warnings. Everybody needs to sign it when you buy a house or rent it to house. But you gotta fill it in manually. And like even platforms like Loop, they require you to fill out the target information manually. Well, we don't have to do that. We can just drag and drop the person that needs to be signing. It's similar things of being able to reduce the amount of administrative time and administrative overhead during any workflow is key. The second part of this is being able to maintain the status of an entire real estate transaction in one shot. So we have a platform that is capable of this. When a real estate agent comes in or a law firm comes in, they assign a project to any particular thing. It stores all the documents for that project. We're capable of sending a particular document out to e-sign if something needs to be e-signed or have a template library or any sort of intermediate form. Real estate offers would be part of this. So pushing into the real estate market, I think is the really high end goal of this year, and building out that support for not only legal firms, but the the legal firms that actually do real estate transactions during. There's some states in the country that require a lawyer to be the point person in the middle, right? So and do the closing. They would already be familiar with the system. They'd already have the ability to send documents for notarization if they need it, or do e-signing, or do whatever the coordination is per project. And I think that that's the most exciting one because that will tie together all of our capabilities. Document analysis, so we'll be able to check documents for fraud to see if a bank statement is correct or not, integrating with Plaid for the consumer side. So when underwriting wants to take a look at the whole thing, they don't have to request 19 different documents from a customer. They put their information in from their bank, and we're able to analyze it and say, hey, these funds are actually. All
Great.
right.
For my focus on where we're at in the business is I specialize in bootstrapping. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We're in this wonderful place where we have this diversified team. A member here that's not with us is our partner or founder, a co-founder Yoni. He's an advisor and he's worked in this startup space for a very long time. Him and Christine have a background as well. So we've got marketing, we've got tech, and we've got the bigger picture on business development. So we are within the pre-seed funding, and we're looking for a VC that has this background or passion in legal tech, or a background in legal specifically, because that kind of helps, as you know, I mean, just to facilitate the growth and vision of where this software can go. Because as Christine put it, there's nothing like it and nothing's going to be able to catch up to where we're at currently. And we're always just going to be two steps ahead. So we are in series funding, and that's going to be, it's already been an interesting time just kind of figuring out what the best match is for the next step and chapter of this. Because as you mentioned, Ron, right? Remote online notarization, this Red Sea of platforms, businesses, competition. Once we get in, once there's money backing, it accelerates, and then we enter that ocean, and we enter it with this dispatch algorithm and everything that we've been building beforehand that's new to market. So it's going to be a very exciting time. And that's kind of where we're at within the bigger picture of the business.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. I know as we're kind of approaching time, are there any final thoughts you'd like to share with the audience?
I think it's very exciting to be in the forefront of a big change in the way that people are able to interact with documents and with other services. It's always a big scary change to really change into a new platform and to put that faith in a company that is that is doing something very novel. But I invite that. I invite that little bit of apprehension, and let's talk about it. Like, wherever you are as far as a law firm goes, whether you're a solo practitioner with no support staff or you're a large firm, we can help. And we can do things that even a large firm with 4 notaries on staff could actually do, right? Because I, you know, sometimes people need a day off. So I mean, if you've got a firm, and if even if you have a notary, I mean, they're welcome to sign up too as a notary. They're also welcome to, go into our system and take a look around. We have, as we said, there's no obligation for the first few months. So come on down and take a look. And we would be more than happy to give you a call or talk to us. I pick up the phone regularly. So, I don't have like a big orchestra of, call center techs. We don't have a call center. If you have a problem, at least technologically, you're talking to me. You're talking to the engineer. You're talking to the person that has built and developed the software and knows it the best. So if you need a feature, if you need something to be changed, I'm there. We'll do it. I mean, chances are I can probably do it in about a week. So there's a lot of opportunity here for legal firms that come in at this stage to be able to say, hey, we need a feature here, we need a button 3 inches to the right. Like, these are the kind of things that we can do at this stage. Once we get a little bit bigger, that becomes a lot harder. So being in now and like coming in now into our platform will really give you some leverage and be able to help you define how you interact with us. And maybe there's a functionality that we haven't seen that we don't know that you want. Come in and tell us. We'll build it.
It is. I mean, just think like these bigger pieces of tech, whether it was Uber or DoorDash or, name one of them, right? If you could have sensed at the beginning, you could have been a part of like the molding of something greater. And that's kind of this chapter. And I think you probably see us smiling as we talk about it because we know it'll go so fast. So, yeah, we would just be delighted to get that feedback and have your folks sign on and connect with us on LinkedIn too, because Christine and I are going to be running some live demos. We're shooting for weekly. But we're also developing and doing other things. So we're shooting for weekly. I'll be posting that both on Coverity's LinkedIn and my personal. And then it's a human space. Yes, we're in tech, but we want this to be human, approachable, and for everybody within the industry to take a hold of. So let's go.
All right. Well, Andrea and Christine, thank you so much for your time today and coming on. I personally find this very fascinating and wish you all the best success in this. Can't wait to see this really take off for you. And for anyone who'd like to know more, we will have all the information available in the description below this video. So we'll have where you can connect with them on LinkedIn for both Andrea and Christine, as well as Coverity's website. So we'll have all that there for you. And so, again, as I said, please reach out to them. So again, thank you both.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.